is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k dirtbags. World top 40k player with a Recon Marine, Keevil. Bringing you a quick video about the new heroic intervention. We're going to be doing a ton of videos coming out with 11th edition. A lot of the stuff keeps getting released every single day, so we're trying to keep up with it, trying to do a full-time job and do this at the same time. So let me know in the comments below what specific stuff about 11th edition you want us to go over as well, and we're going to try and make sure that we don't forget any of that stuff. But if you guys are new to the channel, appreciate you clicking on the video. We were the #1 Grey Knight player in the world 3 years ago, #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world 2 years ago, #1 Death Guard player in the world last year, and this year we're already #1 in America for the Orcs. So I had a huge couple years with 40k. So if you guys are interested in the coaching, getting into 11th edition, definitely great to head over to Patreon so you guys get to support the channel and get a professional coach in your corner to bounce ideas off of. We've already had a ton of new people join. We're going over already list building for 11th edition and rules and questions. So head over there so that way you guys get that professional coach in your corner to bounce ideas off of going into the beginning of 11th edition. So let's get into it. Quick shout out to the sponsors. We have the new merch, which I'll show you in the video as well, but this is freaking sick. Quick shout out, and we'll be back into heroic intervention. This is going to be insane, guys. Insane. All right, guys, thanks for clicking on the video. If you guys want to support the channel, stay tuned towards the end of the video where we'll go over all of this stuff, as well as any of the links in the description below for laser lines, shirts, and gear is in all the description. So stay tuned towards the end and enjoy the video. All right, so like I said, it's just a quick shout out to the merch because I did work hard on all of these. Not me, but my person designing all these guys, and they're on all the shirts. They look freaking sick. We also still have the red, white, and blue shirts as well. But yeah, guys, heroic intervention. It's one of the stratagems that's been around forever. They changed it from 2 CP back in 9th edition to 1 CP in 10th edition. We started 9th edition. So if you guys ask me how long I've been playing, we started way back in the day in 5th edition, left for like 7 years, came back at the end of 9th edition. Yes, end of 9th edition, and then started in the beginning of 10th edition. So I would say around 4 years, 4 years competitively, 3 years competitively, 4 years competitively. 4 years we've been playing this game of 40k, and 10th edition was one of the most balanced editions we've ever seen, and it just keeps getting better and better. I think with Games Workshop making it a lot more balanced, and that way more people, new players can come into the game and enjoy it. But heroic intervention is one of the strats we're going to be talking about going into 11th edition, because this strat is going to be changing the way we play the game. Like, having a strat that anybody has access to changes the gameplay. Like, this is going to change how you deploy, how you move, how you screen, how you move block, how you fall back. Everything is going to be changed with this stratagem. So let's get into it. What it is mainly now. Let's get into the wordage. So the wordage is end of your opponent's charge phase. So you can't do it like you used to be able to like charge in and then counter charge instantly. You can also beat people with the counter charges. Let's say you charge 3 models in, they don't counter charge you, and then you're like, all right, well now I'm going to charge this way instead, and you kind of like juke your opponent out like a little basketball juke move. Can't do that anymore. It's at the end of the charge phase. So that's the first thing you notice right away. Second thing is it's within 12 inches. So instead of being 6 inches where you can just kind of like stay outside of 6 inches of charges, now it's within 12. So automatically you're just always going to be able to be charged if the person is rolling hot or they want to roll 7 on average. It's almost impossible to stay out of it now. You're at least going to be able to get it one chance at it, because you can't re-roll anything now. You can't basically do a strat and then re-roll it. So you can re-roll a charge if you don't have any other strat that phase, but you can't re-roll a strat that you're about to do now. So you used to be able to like try and counter charge. If you fail it, you re-roll it. Now you have one chance. So you always have to make sure you're kind of trying to roll a 7 or under. If it's dire, you're like, all right, if I make this 9, I win the game. Let's try and heroic, and then you just try and roll the 9. So a lot of the different gameplay is going to come up in 11th edition with this specific strat, and that's one of the 2 reasons right there. And then that's one option. Then the second option is a whole brand new strat on top of the strat that's already there. Into the fray. When making a charge roll, if the result is greater than a 6, you basically change it to a 6, so it's only a 6 max. And then when selecting charge targets, you can select any enemy unit that are within 6 inches of your unit and within the maximum distance. Let me go back. The first one, you can only charge a unit that charged that turn. This one, you can charge anybody at the end of the charge phase within 6 inches of your unit. So 2 CP, guys. You can then now charge somebody that's just trying to move block you. If I have Gaz and 20 boys that are like right in an objective, and I have some Kroot hounds trying to like move up and screen me from my wall turn, I can basically spend 2 CP, charge that hound unit that didn't really want to do anything to me, get an extra 6 inches of movement, pile in another 3, kill that fucking hound unit, consolidate another 3, and now I'm literally 2 inches away from your front lines because you couldn't move block Gas. This is going to be insane. So yeah, let's get into this. What are the main things about the strat? End of the charge phase. That's the first thing we already went over. So you can't, no more counter charges. Before, you used to be able to like, all right, I'm going to charge this unit and leave space for you to countercharge me. And if you do countercharge me, the unit behind is now going to have an easier charge into that charge target, which if we're asking about Brian, this is exactly how I beat him. Basically, I charged in, he countercharged, now made my 9-inch charge a 5-inch charge, and then I charged that unit that countercharged me and killed him. So that's one thing you can't do anymore. You have to make all of your charges first, and then your opponent has a huge advantage by saying, okay, where do I want to countercharge? Because it's at the end after you made all your charges. So that's a huge difference for you and your opponent. Mainly your opponent has a huge benefactor. So this strat is really, really good for your opponent now. Before it was like mix. Now it's really good for your defending opponent. Over 6-inch heroic move, meaning like you can basically go over 6 inches now. So like I said before, if you have a desperate escape where you have to like make that charge to try and steal the objective, if you're playing a melee army, you want to get like really far into the opponent's lines. You're already down on primary. You're like, you know what? Fuck it. I got an extra CP. I got free CP, whatever it may be. Let me just try and heroic. Holy shit! I just banged out a 10. Boom. Now you're just like 10 inches further, and you're about to screw over the opponent team. So those are the two main things. And then next, can't screen out anymore. That's kind of how I play the game. Is I run a lot of horde armies, and I use a lot of cheap infantry to kind of like run forward and just screen. Used to be able to run demonettes on the Seekers, right? Seekers scout 9, and then their speed 14, and they're oval bases. So you can scout 9 and then just advance as far forward as possible, and then turn them sideways and create a little wall in front of the Orc army. Well, now you can't do that anymore, because if you did do that, the Orc army now just gets to charge you with 1 unit, kill your freaking Seekers. I mean, I guess you can still do it turn 1. Okay, so you still can do it turn 1 because it is 2 CP. So if you go first and you wanted to screen it that way, yes, you technically can still do it. But if you're going second and you can't really screen out that much anymore, because then you're gonna have that 2 CP and you're just gonna be able to countercharge. So that's gonna be kind of like a really big deal when it comes to move blocking and screening against a melee army. That was the best way to beat them, is just move block them. Here's a 50-point unit, here's some hounds, here's whatever, and just run forward and screen. Commandos, really good at that. They infiltrate, turn 1, you just run forward and be like, all right, now you have to go through my commandos to try and get to me. Can't screen anymore. More aggressive on the objective 6 inches away. I was watching one of the battle reports, and in 11th edition, you can consolidate 3 inches anywhere. It doesn't have to be towards the closest, or it doesn't have to be to the center of the objective like it used to be. Now it's just consolidate 3 inches in a terrain feature. So if you're starting in a terrain feature, you can just consolidate backwards, you can consolidate forwards, you can really go anywhere in that terrain feature. If you're off the terrain feature, you can basically consolidate, either backwards or forwards onto that terrain feature, as long as you end on the terrain feature if you can. So what you're doing here is, if you're going against an army that you're not really fearful of either getting melee off of or shooting, and you can consolidate forward just to put your exactly 6 inches away from getting on the terrain feature. If they move up onto that terrain feature to try and stop you for primary, you're now just going to be able to countercharge them at the end of the fight phase, because you're 6 inches away from the edge of that terrain feature. That's a huge tactic. So let's say you have a rectangle terrain feature, kind of like in your deployment zone, your top left one, and you put your custody army, your custody guard, right? They have hidden, so they can like be a little bit forward. They're basically just exactly, you tell your opponent, they're exactly 6 inches away from the edge of the terrain feature. So if I want to throw like Gretchen or something and just kind of throw like 5 Gretchen on the terrain feature and be like, all right, I'm going to out OC you, you're like, actually, if I roll 6, you're fucked. So they spend 2 CP, they try and roll that 6. If they roll that 6, they countercharge you, they kill all of your Gretchen, and now they're even further forward to try on their turn, move up and go do something. So it's going to be really good on objectives to tell your opponent ahead of time, like play by intent, tell your opponent ahead of time, like, hey, I'm going to be 6 inches away from the edge of this objective. Fucking nuts. So that's great. Into the fray is a new interrupt. I think interrupt was the one thing that you're saving 2 CP for in 10th edition. In this edition, it's going to be for this. Interrupt is not going to be as good now as it was in 10th edition because you're gaining the fight first keyword, but you still have another person fight before you fight, right? I think it's the same as in 10th. Like if you charge in, they get 1 attack, and then you can interrupt with your fight first unit. So it's kind of the same. But this is basically going to be taking over that opportunity because it's going to give you so much more movement, not even on your turn. So you have to be fearful of, are they going to basically stay outside 6 inches? If you don't want this to happen, you have to stay outside 6 inches, but it's going to be so hard to not get on objectives, to get primary, steal, all that stuff. So if I'm trying to get onto objective, I have to essentially be within 6 inches of a unit. So I have to make sure that I put more on the objective to try and stop that. So into the fray is going to be the new interrupt. I think you're going to save the 2 CP for that, for this specific strat, for your big FU unit. So next we have gaining extra movement going into your turn. So we talked about this where I'm going to make a whole how to fight video for the charge phase. But if you're using this to get that 6, now I think last game on live stream, I was playing Grey Knights, and I had to make a 6 for a leadership test to get sustain or lethal for my detachment roll. I failed 6 times or something, 6 or 7 times on 6-ups, and I rolled a lot of failed charges. Like that was probably one of the worst games of rolling I've ever had. Probably top 3, right? So I failed a lot of 6-ups. This exact thing, you're not wasting, you're spending 2 CP hoping you can roll at least a 6, right? So it is expensive, but it will change the game, because if you do bang out that 6, you're getting rid of your screen, you're getting that 6-inch movement, and then you don't have to base to base. So you're going to essentially, if you think about it, you're going to charge in 6. You don't have to base to base. You just have to end within engagement range, 1 inch if you can, and then you get another 3 inches. So you're going to go essentially 9 inches potentially forward, and then they'll probably tag you on their pile in. But then if you kill them, you can then consolidate 3 more inches if you're going towards an objective. So you're going 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-inch movement, not even on your turn. That is going to, again, flip the game, change the game, and be super aggressive for melee, especially horde armies. Then keeping primary as much as possible. This is good for your side of it because you're going to be able to set up your guys in the terrain feature to keep primary almost guaranteed every single time. If you're playing Custodies or you're playing really hard-hitting melee units and you're not really fearful of getting shot too much, you can then just keep them either behind a wall or like at least 6 inches forward. So that's going to guarantee that you're going to keep primary that turn, as long as you don't get shot off the terrain feature. And then finally, Knights will love this strat. Especially melee knights. Like when you're melee knight having so many freaking wounds and they're trying to move block you, because with knights, like they can't end within 2 inches now of you. They can move through you, but they can't end within 2. So you're going to be able to screen out a knight pretty easily. So how you're going to have to screen out a knight is you're going to have to stay 6.1 inches away from them so they don't just countercharge you and get the extra movement. And then on their turn, they can just move over you and get that extra movement on top of that. So they're going to be able to countercharge 6 and then move another 10 beyond you because they can just move through your models. So Knights, I think, are going to be super happy with this strat because they're all going to be walkers, they're all going to be vehicles, and they're just going to be able to kind of like countercharge and can't be screened from a Knight. So these guys, I think, are the main reasons why Heroic Intervention is going to steal 11th edition as the best strat we have in the game now. So let me know in the comments below what you like, what you didn't like, how we can improve on the channel, what you're super excited about, which strats, I guess, mostly you're excited for. Comment below. And if you guys are interested, again, in any of these designs, you click on the link below. It takes you right to the store. You can click on those. And if you want that professional coach, myself or another dirtbag, head over to the Patreon so you can join the coaching. So that way we can get you ready for 11th edition, because a lot of this shit is going to be coming up, and getting people good at piling and consolidating like it was in 10th is going to be even more in 11th. So guys, I appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon. All right, guys, thanks for sticking towards the end of the video. If you guys want to support the channel, all the links in the description below, which we'll go over. But these right here, we have 3D prints of Cypher, Tech Priest, Phobo Libby, Combi Libby, Lieutenant, Calidus, Codiez, and the Lord of Contagion. All those are up for sale. Message me on Discord. All these widgets, the 6-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch, 1-inch, they pop out. Those are up for sale. The 9-inch widget, the 1 CP token, where you guys can keep track of the CP every single game. The token markers for Chaos and Grey Knights, they're poker chips. Those are really good for sticky objectives. And then also the wound gauges and the fuck you and fuck me tokens are up for sale as well. And we have a new sponsor, Snot Goblin Terrain. They are really, really cool. What's great about them is you can customize them for any layout. So if you run Games Workshop layout, or if you run WTC layout, you can run it that way. And the best part, it's super hard plastic, not going to break on you. And also it's all fully painted. So check on the link below if you guys want to check these guys out. We use them in our streams and they look super awesome on the stream, but it's really good to travel into all your stores and bring them with you. So check those guys out. Then we still have 3D6 Wargaming, where if you guys want some custom templates, you guys can click on these. And then our new and improved Rexar lasers, laser lights with the Dirtbag logo on them. These guys are at a lot of local GTs, especially in the Texas area, but these lines are, or these lasers are rechargeable. So definitely be picking this up. I'm going to be getting sent one of these so I can show you guys on the live stream and stuff like this. But you guys get the dirt bags and the lasers rechargeable, so highly recommend the Rexar lasers in the description below. Look at this. Look at that line. It is so good. And it's rechargeable. At the top, it's got the USB. Just plug it right in. Good to go. This shit is legit. And lastly, guys, the merch store. This I love seeing at GTs. When you see it across the room, you see your own logo, which is so cool. It's the red, white, and blue. We have the hats as well. They're all flex fit with the Dirtbags logo on the back. I just love wearing backwards hats. But all of these are available in the Printify shop. It's print to order, so you can get all these shirts, different sizes, different colors. We also have the old school stuff. We have the Nurgling. We have mugs, which you can fit your entire hand in, and some of the Grey Knight logos as well. So let me know what I'm missing. You can message me on Discord, but stay tuned. If you guys are interested in the Patreon, that'll come up last. So appreciate it, guys, and let's keep it going. What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are interested in joining the Dirtbag Nation over at patreon.com, you get a bunch of perks. What we did in 2024 was we really expanded. I had traveled a ton and I played my ass off in 40k. Right now, we're ranked #1 best player in the United States on ITC rankings. We were the #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world this year in 2024. 2 years ago, we got ranked #1 Grey Knight player in the world, and this year we're probably going to go into Death Guard, hopefully when the new Codex comes out, or Emperor's Children. But you guys, if you guys want that head coach or that coach always in your corner, just to ask questions, bounce ideas off, that's what the competitive Dirtbag and the Dirtbag Nation is all about. If you guys want to support the channel, you head over to patreon.com. You can join the Just a Car tab, which is $5 a month. You guys get access to the Discord Patreon tab. You have to be a patron to get into that Discord, and also I'm always there. All the other coaches are there. Basically, it's just such a good community over on Discord that you guys get specific access to it that only Patreons can get. If you guys want to bump that up, the competitive Dirtbag tier, you guys get to message me or another Grandmaster or another Dirtbag coach over the Dirtbag Nation to have unlimited questions, list ideas, list reviews, and bounce ideas off of. That's what having a coach in your corner is all about. If you guys want to bump up to the Grandmaster tier, that tier you get every perk under the sun. So basically you get access to Discord, you get one-on-one coaching, you get a call once a month if you guys would like to go over any RTTs coming up, any GTs coming up, any list reviews live over Discord chat, and also a special perk that Grandmasters get if you guys want any video suggestions like we do all the time with these table setups that we just upgraded thanks to the Patreons. You guys get suggestions or battle reports you want to see specifically played live by a coach or myself on the next battle report, or a live battle report coming up on the Patreon. So you guys get obviously first access to all the videos. We post them first on patreon.com, but there's just a ton of benefits to having a professional coach that plays this game all the time at the very, very high competitive level in your corner at all times. And that's really what the Dirtbag Nation is all about, getting you guys better at 40K, the basics, and being good in your community. So if you guys want to support the channel, I really appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you guys in 2024, 2025. I am super stoked for, super excited for. We really want to get a bigger studio going. That is going to be my focus in 2025, is really growing the community on YouTube and Patreon specifically. So thank you so much for 2024, all my Patreons. If you guys are interested in joining and want that coach in your corner, head over to patreon.com and support the channel. Appreciate it.